Hello, is this thing on? Alright, we're back again. Much like glitter, never truly disappear. I brought Alfina with me this time, again.
Always something like that.
Hello? Good. Alright, hey, we're back. We're gonna be doing some TZA today. I brought Alfina with me. She's also learned this run a bit. It's great, it's fabulous, it's literally a speed run.
Yeah, actually.
There will be RNG manipulation, there will be AI manipulation, there will be 4 times speed up, and all sorts of wackadoodle stuff. But I'm Kios. I was here earlier, 2 days ago with Alfina for Final Fantasy 15. We got dunked on that run. This one might have a chance of PBing, so we'll see how it goes. Alright, who's ready on the timer?
Obviously me.
Oh, good. Lowered expectation. Important thing before we start, though, we have to make sure we set this to inverted. Otherwise, you're just wrong and an inferior gamer. I will die on this hill. All right, you ready?
Yep.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, welcome to Final Fantasy 12, another Final Fantasy game that I speedrun that no one likes.
I feel like you're telling me I have bad taste.
I'm a heretic with no taste. Look, I'm not allowed near any churches, monasteries, synagogues, or mosques. Actually, that's a complete lie.
So this is Rex that we have control over. I hope you love him because you'll only see him for a few minutes.
If anything were to happen to this man, I would kill everyone in the room and then myself.
I got bad news for you.
Good. Anyway, this is basically the little tutorial section. If you already noticed, I already activated the speed up. Those of you that may have played Final Fantasy 12, this will feel like Final Fantasy 12, except it's probably a version that you've never played, unless you got really, really deep into this game. This is based off of a kind of like Greatest Hits International Update version that came out, called the International Zodiac Job System, which was only ever released in Japanese. So if you played it, congratulations. I've scrounged a copy up. All right, good enough. I didn't even start my timer, so better hope that timer's accurate, MASH. If we PB, this is on you. But anyway, there's a little tutorial battle. Mainly the big thing with this run is we will be securing what was literally left in as a developer weapon that they just kind of didn't remove from testing. We'll be getting ourselves 2 of those because they are quite delicious and meaty. We will also be tricking a lot of AI, and there will be, as usual, a bunch of min-maxing of equipment, damage, HP, and leveling. Basically, there is no grinding in this run. It's basically we will kill what we need along the way, hope it is enough, and hope it's not too little.
Our version of grinding is killing 1 mob.
Yep. Who is we? Me. I use the royal third person. Vaughn, wake up. Anyway, we're introduced to the most handsome of main characters, however, not the main character. This is Vaughn. He's got some sick abs. He's got a dagger, and we out here mowing down rats like it's going out of style. If you remember my spiel about good video games earlier, Final Fantasy 12, we're in the sewer. There is a fishing minigame later. This is a good video game. It's not third person.
You're asking people to remember things from a day ago? Wow.
No one listens to me anyway. I may as well be just like talking to a brick wall. You know that meme of someone holding a microphone in front of like a garbage can? It's just like anything else. That's how I feel all the time. Anyway, welcome to the royal city of Rabanaster. It is quite beautiful. We have met our friend Miguelo, who's like, hey, Vaughn, how are you? You young whippersnapper, you. Can you go do a few things for me? And we're like, yeah, we got you, Miguelo. Miguelo's really cool. He's a nice guy. He means well.
So this is going to introduce They set this up so that it would introduce the hunt system to the game.
Very early.
So that you would understand that there's this thing that you can do throughout the game to kind of get XP and items and all of that. And this is a speed run and we want to go fast, so we won't see a lot of them.
Anyway, Tomaj is a good dude. We'll come back and see him later. Anyway, we are now tasked with the first boss of the game. It is the Rogue Tomato, which apparently is out in the Western Sand, causing some very, very serious problems. I, by the way, guessed if it was west or east. I was correct.
You said it with such confidence. I'm like, yeah, I mean, you're right.
I am right.
Figured you knew.
As it turns out, I'm wrong, though. We're going to the Ester Sand. Western Sand is where we do Dustia. It's been a minute. I don't care to remember the names of most of these places. I'm going to sneak by this wolf. There we go.
We know which way to go more than we remember the exact details of every single
Oh, I thought you said west. Looking like I have a good setup here, though. Leaving Rogue Tomato from the top portion with 50 HP should be pretty good. Very nice. That's actually like the cleanest movement I've had in a while. And the 2-hit combo to end it. Very nice. Rogue Tomato's down. Pretty easy.
One of the risks with Rogue Tomato that you really didn't have to see here because it went very well is the wolves that are running around like to try to get themselves involved in the combat. And they can be quite the nuisance.
Yeah, they also have an attack called Lunge. We'll mention Hero Wolf on our way out of Dustia.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to go meet Kites, another, well, there's a lot of, like, thievy merchant kids that live here in, like, the seedy underbelly of town, which we're about to gain access to, which is Lowtown. And we have a homie down there named Dallin Duck, or Old Man Dallin, never mind. I'm confusing people again.
You get to go talk to the best guy down there.
Yeah, Balzac. Oh wait, no, that's later.
Oh, he's still down there.
Yeah, he's down there. I'll talk to him in about 30 minutes, maybe. I don't have a timer up, so y'all gonna have to like keep me clued in here. The goal for today is sub 239.37. I can finally PB this game after not touching it for a year and a half. Anyway, we're just gonna stream through here. We're gonna go talk to our buddy Dallin. Anyway, reverting back to the bullshit I was talking about, ICJS. Oh, by the way, I don't have to watch my language too much today, so I'm going to abuse that a little bit. Happy Sunday. The interesting thing is people are like, oh, is there like a speed up? What is this, a frame rate uncapper? One of the quality of life touches that was added to IZJS, and this is on a PS2, by the way, was literally a speed up function for like grinding and traversing the very large map sizes that exists within this game. And it wasn't like, oh, it just made it run faster. It was literally a frame rate uncapper, bringing the field FPS to, I think it was like 50, almost 59 FPS, so almost double speed. Well, you're running this on a PS4, which has incredible hardware capabilities. So they just said, hey, just crank that up and see what happens. So here we are at running 4 times speed, which I guess is supposed to be roughly 120 FPS. If you think it is hard to control, yes, you are correct. It's incredibly horrible to control. It's like trying to do brain surgery with like a 10-inch chef's knife. I mean, if you're really good, you can, but for the most part, it's just going to be a hack job. Anyway, we meet Pinello, who has what I think is one of the cutest outfits ever. It's like this weird romper with harnesses, and it's got like little wings on the back, like shoulder pods.
I feel like her outfit is the most practical of the majority of the party for the idea that they're going to be wandering around this great big world.
She's got shoulders like a rugby player. I'm just saying. Anyway, we're gonna meet Jin. Anyway, we talked to Dallin, and Dallin was like, hey, I know you want to sneak into the palace because Vaughn wants to be a treasure hunter sky pirate. So what we have asked Dallin to do is get us into like the royal palace. There's a whole bunch of celebrations and dignitaries and treasure, and we want to steal some of it. And he's like, hey, by the way, if you can get me a sunstone, I can get you into a back passage. And we're like, all right, bet. We'll just go to Giza and get a sunstone. Well, anyway, this little petulant child that can be trusted with literally nothing somehow managed to sprain his ankle, much like Dave. And he's like, well, hey, if you just hold these shade stones in front of the rock, it'll light up, and then you can have your own sunstone, effectively doing all of my work for me. And we're like, that's great, kid. We'll do it because we don't know any better. Anyway, I'm going to get down my damage down chart for a little bit here. So far, pretty smooth sailing. Potential for 4 crystal here, though, which would immediately shatter all of my PB chances. Not really worrying about taking damage here. 34% is not guaranteed.
I'm going to mention off of that comment of it's being 4 crystal. So what we're doing is we're running around grabbing all of these, charging our shade stone into sunstone. And we do that by going up to these crystals, and you have a chance of getting up to 50% from each of these crystals that you go up to.
54.
So you could actually... Oh, it's 54?
Yeah, minimum is 25, max is 54.
I just know at least 50, because then you can get 2. Which
I'm going to
allows you
share
to
that
get
if it
the
helps
2.
you, by the way, because how fast the run is.
I have VLC up.
Okay, I discorded.
Yeah. But so what it is, because you have that, you can get up to 54. It allows you to have that chance of getting a 2 crystal cycle, which means that you're quickly done with the round and you move on. You can, however, because the Loa and being 25, have to go through and get all 4.
It is more statistically likely by about 8 times as much, or I think it's you are 4 times more likely to get a 2 crystal than a 4 crystal.
Yeah.
Anyway, I forget what my HP was. Anyway, I am now going to do stuff.
Trip.
Yeah.
That was a very important shopping trip, by the way, that just happened that we kind of glossed through because we were talking about the crystal cycle. What you'll see is that he bought Dark. You're going to see a lot of Dark early on. Dark is a fantastic spell that they give you that access to really early.
Yeah, and it's AoE, which is even more important. Like, you get a lot of it. Okay, HP values. Hopefully we fell in a good range here. Anyway, welcome to the Western Stand. We're going to go visit one of my friends out here. Okay, I have to do math here.
We end up, this is kind of the biggest portion where we actually have to stop and think.
Really, Pinello?
Things. So what we have to do is get our characters to... We have to get Vaughn into a critical point and then go into the next zone.
That's awful.
This is how we do Dustia farming. In normal Final Fantasy XII runs, you're going to see Dustia farming happen a lot. For us, we do it once?
Yeah, once. Unfortunately, I'm going to just lose an entire boatload of time very early here.
Yeah. Because unfortunately, Pinello, I think, got a crit.
No, she comboed through...
Oh, she comboed.
Yeah, she comboed through a flea.
So yeah, because what we're trying to do is we gotta get...
I'm just gonna YOLO this.
Health really low. Because he has to be in that critical status for Dustia to spawn.
Perfect. This
I
is
like hold
such
my
a time
breath
loss.
every time.
This is an awful amount of time loss I did not want to experience early, and it's literally all of Pinello's fault.
A lot of things are Pinello's fault. So now that we've done that, we're gonna knock Pinello out because we don't need her for this. We're gonna get Phoenix down, ready, get Dustia to spawn, and we'll use a Phoenix down on Dustia. That kills Dustia in 1 hit. We get our level up, our LP, and we move along.
I'm just bummed. Like, my chances of PBing just literally went out the window within the first 8 minutes of the run because Pinello couldn't get her shit together. And no drops from Dustius, so my money is also terrible. Do not lunge me, thank you. All right, well, that was taken care of. Unfortunately, I just like blew a minute that I really didn't have. It happens sometimes. It's very rare for the combo. If you notice, I tried to hold Flee. Initiating Flee will cancel any current animations and actions. I guess I was just off by about a frame. But yeah,
It happens from time to time.
We'll explain RNG and RNG tables in a little bit. There's a whole lot that's about to happen with that. I just need to knuckle down and get through the rest of this run. Anyway, Penel left the party. We didn't need her anyway. Dallin's still there petting his rabbit, telling us, hey, you got the Sunstone. I'll give you the Crescent Stone. Now you can sneak into the Royal Palace. Good job, buddy. That was awful. I've never actually had the damage down in a situation like that. That was weird. This is why I never trust Penello either. You've noticed I exclusively do all of my damage down with Vaughn. Anyway, hey, yeah. It's Kites again. Our little local ragamuffin.
I love Kites.
Kites is really handy and involved with some of the more interesting quests in the game. Like, there are a lot of quote-unquote quests that don't really show up anywhere. Like, it's just like kind of like almost like you just get like a very specific line of dialogue from an NPC, and it's just like you're on this weird quest. She's part of the Medallion quest line, which allows you to access the Necro Hall of Nabudis, which is really neat and required for plat percent. It leads you to wonderful places like Chaos. That fight is really wacky, though. I do personally enjoy that. Imagine going into an Esper fight, but you can't use the attack command. You'll actually see some of that in some of the bosses we fight.
So back to what's going on in this run.
Yep, Philo and Fuss Budget.
Because if you blink, sections of this run will go by.
Yep. Anyway, hey, we snuck into the palace. I'm going to steal 1 elixir here in case I need it for later. It's also a good almost 1,000 gil for when at this point I inevitably end up short money, because why not? It's a marathon run. Pretty much. Some of the later bosses do get really tricky, though. Specifically with positioning. Specifically Sid 2.
And we've had things go sideways really fast.
Hey, Buckethead.
So.
Yeah. Basically, the most dangerous thing that can happen in this run is either you get what I call looped, where you're just in this constant cycle of reviving your party members that go down, or one of your party members gets confused and you don't notice it within like a second. You can literally wipe your own party if one of them gets confused in under a second in this game. It's terrifying. All right. Anyway, we're going to go yell at some guards and call them bucketheads.
Hey, Buckethead.
Hey, called it. I love when I call it.
Over here.
Ooh, I overstepped a little bit.
Fine.
This is fine. I'm just hell-bent on making up this time I lost. But I'm going to have to dig. I'm going to have to dig deep.
I believe in you.
No, I believe in me too. I just don't believe in the game not shafting me at every given opportunity. I know better. Anyway, I took my stone and I put it on this signet, and now it's like supercharged. And old Dallin swears we can get in. So we're gonna raise our stone to the light. And wow, secret passage. There's Vaughn's wonderful spray painted abs. He's got great physique for like a young kid. He's in good shape. He exercises a lot. Eats his vegetables. You know, drinks his milk. Oh, I love bullying the guards in this game. They're all jerks anyway. Anyway, there's a little switch back here. It's gonna go. Literally the most satisfying sound in the game. Imagine touching grass as a robot. Kefir. Oh man, I haven't good Kefir in a while. Anyway,
So
I
now
stole
I'll
a
be
piece of
introduced to
magicite.
Lady Man.
Yeah, I stole a magicite because, you know, Sky Pirate thief. We now meet every 14-year-old girl's wildest fantasy. Man by the name of Balthier.
And everyone's character to make fan art of.
Yeah, Fran. Fran, please. I am overwriting this save. Yeah.
So that save is very important. We'll get back to it later. It's not just there for marathon safety.
All right, and it's time for everyone's favorite thing, a tutorial.
Bruh.
I don't want a tutorial.
Bruh. Bruh.
Tutorials keep me from going fast.
Dude, it's so long. Ready? Are you ready for this horribly inefficient moment? All right, Balthier, all you have to do is go 1 up.
Bruh.
Instead goes 14 down. Anyway, it is really handy. A lot of people get massively overwhelmed by the gambit system. Just think of it as a list of operations. The highest being the most important thing, the lowest being the least important thing. And if the conditions aren't met, it goes from top to bottom until a condition can be met. And if none of them can be met, you just do nothing. Pretty easy, right?
Yep.
It's like literally a dummy's guide to coding. It's, yeah, if-then operations. Literally what it is. Oop. You know what, let's just do it. It's fine, I won't need to heal. Anyway, IZJS and the Zodiac Age offer you this really cool thing called trial mode, where you can ascend 100 floors, gaining all sorts of cool items and LP along the way. And then you can literally load back into the game from there, keeping whatever items and LP that you picked up along the way. It's really handy. Like, oh man, I really don't want to go grind. You can just do a couple of floors of trials mode and come over here into the first area and grab a diamond armlet worth 6,000 gil.
Just casually, you know, just sitting there, no big deal.
Yep, you know it. I'm gonna load this in here as well while I can.
Okay.
There we go. We have 1 healer in the party now. Setting that so now everyone does a job. Vaughn, don't die. Stop. Stop dying. Alright, I'm done here. That's all I needed. Mainly, what I needed to do there was just grab the diamond armlet. One, it's 6,000 gil. That's a lot of freaking gil. The other important thing is we need that for manipulation later. Good lord. The third thing is I very specifically need LP. Now you'll ask, well, Kios, what is LP? Well, for those of you that are unfamiliar with this game uses a license point system. You navigate your way around something called the license board, where you can unlock skills and abilities and, you know, do more damage, gain more HP, etc., etc. And we need those licenses unlocked to get certain abilities and to be able to do certain amounts of damage and, you know, survive certain fights. But I'm looking for very specific values along the way. I think I'm a little over on this, but I'm trying to get 51 on Vaughn by the end of this screen. Yeah, we're definitely over. We're probably like 53. Almost 54. Yeah, it's like AP or, you know, whatever kind of system most of the games that you have played have. Anyway, 53 is a good guess, right? Our main classes for today are going to be Ulan to start. our young boy Vonon, and Balthier and Fran are going to be red battle mages. Remember, I spent 500 gil on that magic dark earlier. Well, we're going to put it to use here. It's going to be very important. And the other important thing with Vaughn is I'm going to be able to get the license that I need for him. We're going to grab up to accessory 3 here. None of these are useful except Diamond Armlet. I will need that one because it is it gives us invulnerability to lightning, which is really cool. We'll need that later. And we're also going to put Dark as our main attack for Balthier and Fran. And they're just going to get sent to work now, thus continuing our cycle of just overpowering everything. That's the name of the game here.
That, the job system like that came in with the IJS version, so it was pushed over into Zodiac Age. Originally in Final Fantasy XII, it was one big license board that everybody kind of got to pull from.
Yep, this one has jobs now, similar to Final Fantasies of yesteryears. You know, like your grandparents' Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy for boomers, even. Fights are over so quick. For marathon safety, I'm just going to grab this extra Phoenix down here.
Okay.
But yeah, there are a lot of changes between ICGS TZA and the original that most people have played. Chess locations and contents are changed. There's a certain amount of chests in this game that just respawn. All you have to do is leave like 2 zones away and they'll respawn, so you can farm stuff for a while. There's a bunch of chests that are invisible containing super weapons. We'll see that in a bit. We're gonna have our first, what I would consider like actual boss of the run. This is Firemane. There's just literally a horse that is on fire living in an area that's a sewer. I don't understand how this works, considering that's, well, the horse is on fire. Why does it want to live in a water area? Me, I don't know. Now, this game, when it came out, was cool enough that Firemane takes more damage and does less damage while in water, if I recall. This is not a particularly good fight. Double Bushfire is slow.
Ideally, we want no bushfires because, as you can see, it's an animation, so it takes time.
Yep.
We're kind of used to 1 usually happening. 2 is slow.
2's average, but slow. You always got to hope for the best with this game.
Yep.
But yeah, it's really cool. A PS2 game that had environmental effects. There's actually, if you are in the wet, bows are slightly less accurate. Also, environmental effects will shift how powerful magic is, like dry or sandstorm. Fire will do slightly more damage. Guns can never be blocked, parried, or I don't think they can miss either, if I recall. But they can't combo. That's their downside. You can't combo with a gun.
They also have slightly lower damage because of the fact that they're going to always hit.
Mm-hmm. Got the Tourmaline Ring from under and Gil. Yeah, definitely. There are lots of trade-offs in this game. I specifically enjoy the fact that the weapons aren't, like, the damage you deal isn't based specifically on the base power of the weapon. Your stats will also affect it. As well as some classes are obviously better suited for that. Like, perhaps using Archer for a bow class. Wow. It'll set you up with skills that'll work better. Swiftness, stuff like that.
Yep. It actually helps for if you wanted to keep certain people in certain weapons. The job system actually made it a lot easier for you to get the right
equipment
skill ups for them, and get their equipment a lot easier versus the massive license board that everybody was on, and it became really hard to find exactly what you're looking for sometimes.
The other thing it really helps with is all these characters have different stat pools. And what I mean by that is their stat growth is different. Every character's stat growth is different. One of the downfalls of everyone loves Fran in FF12, but she has some of the worst stat growth of anyone in the entire game. Like, it's one of the reasons we don't use her in the run is her stats are awful. Our main party is going to consist of Ash, Vaughn, and Bosch, mainly because they have the best stat growth, and, well, they're here. We already have them accessing everything they need to do. Clock's ticking, and we are just gonna really, really, really quickly pick our way through this area. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip him. I'm already realistically +3 on AP already, so LP, whatever. I don't even know which game I'm playing anymore. Eye drops. Mainly I'm on the lookout for green liquid and iron scraps. Money is very, very important to this, and to be honest, this run becomes incredibly slow if you do not... Wow, that is way out of position. Good, we're already looking at no drops. Ooh, Batfang, thanks for the 35 gil. I'm just gonna try and drag everyone here. Waterstone, file a green liquid, waterstone, green liquid, okay. Trying to keep track of my drops as quickly as I can. The other thing you'll notice is there's a charge bar underneath our mini-map here. Well, what is that, you say? Well, we're in the sewers. Technically the Barheim Passage, and the issue with the Barheim Passage is that it is quite very haunted. And when the lights go out, the skeletons and the mummies and the ghosts come out. And I am not interested in that. Our goal is to avoid them because they are undead and dark does 0 damage to them. But these mimics I've been killing have been sucking the power from the lines. So we want to kill them. I should have actually my first skeleton spawn, but that should despawn them there. I'm Captain Bosch of Dalmasca. Pretty successful though. I did overkill 1 or 2 just for the drops. At least we have eye drops. Like, the one thing I can't complain is we will need eye drops. Our party becomes useless if it is confused or blinded.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that can happen quite a lot. This game really loves its very odd status ailments, and giving even the most normal of enemies access to them very early on. I think we've already been poisoned and blinded so far in the run, and we're only like maybe 30 minutes in. Anyway, we're gonna find some more crystal bugs here. I'm just gonna pretty much ignore everything because I can get away with it at this point. Not crystal bugs.
Because that charge bar is so high, we can just keep moving past a lot of these mimics. Because while they'll increase our charge bar, it's not gonna drain enough that we're gonna...
Anyway, boss fight.
run into an issue.
Ooh, nice 3-hit combo off the bat. I'm trying to force our big bossy enemy here into skipping this animation. Didn't work out because I 3-hit comboed it early, so I pushed it closer to the threshold than it needed to be. It doesn't really matter if anyone dies as long as Vaughn stays alive, but that's Mimic Queen. You really don't even get to see it. In Final Fantasy, in the PS2 version of this run, we also literally face the camera away from it. 1, so it can't target us, and 2, it's literally just faster because the game doesn't have to try and load the entire character model on the screen. It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
Sorry, I killed your mom, Orion.
Dalmascan air could taste so sweet.
Where are we? The Estes sand by the look
Yeah,
of it.
Dan, it's a
Let's back
huge
to
model
rest
to
at
try
the
and load on a
forge for the
PS2.
lava. By your leave, Captain.
Yes.
We also
the hour
run
of
in
my
circles to
return is
regenerate
already
MP
overlate.
there.
The people may hate me, but
But that
does not free me of my charge.
And if you've noticed, yes, the dialogue is very Shakespearean. Most of the voice, I'm pretty sure all the voice actors, like, were basically told read a lot of Shakespeare, get into the mood. And Fran's voice actress, I think, was directed to listen to a lot of Bjork, which is why there's that kind of almost weird Northern European Scandinavian style accent. Should have 4697 here, I believe. 4797. I'm 100 up for whatever reason. There we go. Perfect. Looks great. Hey, these are teleport crystals. We'll use these a little bit, and hopefully I get the drops I need, or I'm going to literally just lose my absolute mind. In the PS2 version, yeah, there is a little bit of that. And sometimes it is actually used just to prevent enemies from targeting us. We don't touch on it very, very much. But one of the gambits in this game is nearest visible enemy. Well, it takes the version of, or the definition of visible very literally. If you cannot see the enemy on screen, it will not target it.
Which means if it's running up behind you and attacking you from behind, and
you will not
you've got
target
the camera
it.
faced forward, you'll never do it. I hate that turn. I hate that turn.
That is literally the trickiest movement in this run. I swear to God. Anyway, here's our friend Balzac. Yes, visible to camera.
Yep.
Very literal. It's gotten us in trouble before.
I have even while playing casually accidentally turned the camera and had them break combat because I had it on nearest visible, and they lost track of where it was because I was trying to take a look around the area around me.
Yeah, as Dan mentioned, you can later on in the game get a gambit that is literally just nearest and very specifically targets that. Anyway, we're back. So here's the backstory. Bosch was supposed to have been killed years ago, but instead was just kept in prison for years. So we're now kind of dealing with the fact that, well, he's not dead. So he went into hiding in Lowtown. We've pulled him out successfully. And we're gonna go visit our buddy Tomaj and be like, hey, you remember the tomato thing? We did it. They'll be like, all right, here you go, chief. Enjoy your 1 teleport stone, your like 2 potions and 300 gil. But now we have this crazy idea. Well, actually, what really happened is Penelo got kidnapped by a dude named Bagamnon, who's basically just a turd muffin. And has taken her to the sky city of Bujerba. And we're gonna have to go and, rescue our friend. But first, I have something more important to do. You'd be like, what's that, Kios? Well, I have to destroy the game really quickly. We're gonna throw it right in the trash, and just trivialize pretty much everything that we can. I'm gonna hop on an airship back to Nalbina, which is where we ended up when we left the Barheim Passage, that little, prison corridor with the electro spooters. Yeah, there's a price on Balthier's head. Balthier has a very interesting backstory. His line in the cutscene is that he is the leading man. A lot of people have a complaint with this game. Well, they made Vaughn the main character, but he's not really the main character. To be honest, I'd almost argue that there really isn't a main character. There's just characters whose stories interconnect in very interesting ways. The overarching story would be Ashes, realistically. Anyway, this game sucks. Don't play it. Instead, we're going to play 15 again. Nah, just kidding. Yeah, Vaughn is kind of along for the ride. He has his own motivations to be there and then just kind of gets sucked up into it. Same thing with Penelo. She, is Vaughn's best friend. Balthier is the only one that sometimes struggles for a reason. If it wasn't for his main story that his dad is a piece of shit, there would be almost no reason for him to go along. He's basically just a dude with an airship that keeps getting drug along by these people he's stuck with.
And he's, got this heart that he wants to do the right thing. He just has to also keep up his image that he's, this big tough sky pirate. Don't let him lie to you. He's a big softie. So, we didn't really talk too much about the way RNG works in this game, even though we're kind of...
I spawned way back.
Right, see that. So, the RNG on this game is completely on a table.
It is a modified version of the Marcin Twister algorithm. That is shifted plus 100 for the PS4 version.
So the way that it works is each action takes up a certain number of spaces on that RNG table, including opening chests,
NPC
Every
movement.
attack, NPC movement, all of these things eat up RNG on this table. The thing is, we know how to manipulate it. By completely closing out of the game and opening up a save, it's going to keep wherever that save spot was on the RNG table. And so then we just kind of manipulate it a little bit from there to get exactly where we want to be. And we do that by checking the numbers on those heals that Fran had.
Very handily, the RNG value that is consumed to cast heal is 1. So we can literally do, a minimum of 4 heals in a row should seat you on the RNG table somewhere if you are using the RNG helper. There are only 2 places in the game where you can't. One of them is Subterra, and the other one is... There's another place you can't manipulate RNG. I forget where it is.
So
You can drift off. Oh, Subterra and certain parts of never mind.
anyway, so basically what ends up happening is we punch ourselves a certain number of times because punching eats up 10 spaces on the RNG table.
Most basic attacks do 10. Guns are 8 because they do not have a parry check and they do not have a combo check.
And bows are higher because they also have another check.
Weather check. Which is 11 or 12, I think. I think it's 11 because they don't have combo either.
Yeah. But basically, so we have all these, so, we know all of the number of spaces that we're going to move, everything else, so we use up a few punches to eat up to where we want to, roughly where we want to be, and we heal till we see the 3 numbers in a row that we know where we're at. Come up here, we know there's an invisible chest here. We're watching this kid over here running around by the railing, because his movement also impacts this. When he hits the right spot, we open up the invisible chest, and we pull the items that we want. And yes, we did pull 2 of them.
We need to.
That wasn't by accident. We did purposefully pull 2 of them.
I haven't explained what it does yet. I'll just kind of show it off when it gets there.
That's what I figured.
So the RNG table on this game is insanely cool. There's so many unique things that go into it. Like comboing, you think it'd just be if you're comboing a punch, it'd be 10 plus 10 plus 10. No, it's n factored over n plus 1, I believe. So it's pretty wacky. But this allows us to manipulate items and chests, which makes the plat percent run a lot more doable. It's even used to manipulate what items we steal from enemies. And I believe to a certain extent, sometimes you can use it to manipulate drops. Either way, that's all taken care of. I'm gonna just take care of this when I should have done it. Bosch is gonna come out. We're gonna remove that from Fran, and we're gonna equip something called the Seitengrat. I'm also going to fix my gambits here. And we're ready to leave. Yeah, the damage calculation, this game is so absurdly in-depth. I will always be impressed by the fact that this game came out on the PlayStation 2 and everything fit on one DVD. It's just, it is a nerd and mathematician's dream.
Especially with all the way that they programmed the maps, they programmed
some of the hunts, some of the spawns. There's a hunt where you have to spend 7 minutes in a specific area for it to load. There are certain rare game that only spawns at certain points within the in-game timer, or if you've completed a certain amount of this or that. It's a really neat run. Even casually, I'd say to get a really cool experience with this game, just steal somebody's plat percent notes and just kind of go through it at your own pace. Just the sheer amount of things that you have to tackle in this game is absurdly cool. Yeah, the Behemoth King. I think one of the cooler ones is Fafnir, which is a hunt, but basically, within the map, there are certain things you have to do in this area that we're gonna head into later, called the Paramina Rift. And there are weather conditions, and to spawn Fafnir, you need to make it to a certain position for a certain place in that map area without with it being a blizzard, which is easy, right? Except the main path to get to that area has an effect that it always will clear current weather conditions. So you have to basically like walk your way all the way around the entire area to keep this snowstorm going in order to get your hunt to spawn. I guess you could call this like a little mini grind here. I just want to kill a few of these skeletons along the way. This is also like so I can get money. You wonder, what am I doing to kill them so fast? Well,
You don't even see a weapon in your hand.
this is the Seitengrat. It is invisible. It is a bow. It has the longest range of any weapon in the game. So any like weapon or attack, it has +2 range. So we can literally outrange and out-target everything. If like I did this run carefully enough, I could pretty much probably kill everything without taking a single hit of aggro. It's just slow. Its base attack value is 255, which is the highest in the game. And then its further stat growth is based off of speed and strength. Vaughn and Bosch both have fairly decent strength scores. Vaughn has a little bit more speed. The other thing is, I think of the items in the game, this has like the fastest charge rate as well. Even at 4 times speed, it's insanely, or even not at 4 times speed, the charge rate is extremely fast. So from now on, we are basically just going to be buzzing. I'm keeping like a rough guesstimate of what my levels are based on HP values. I have like some soft target goals to hit. And I'm also trying to keep desperate track of what drops I'm getting. Right now, I think my money is a little bit lower than I want it to be. Our LP and experience are a little bit on the high side. So I have to very, very delicately kind of juggle losing time to hopefully get enough items that I can make this run work based on, you know, I don't want to overkill things because that's slow, but I also can't skip too many things because, well, then I just won't reach the levels or LP that I need to make this work. Turn off the turbo for a second, make sure everyone's still alive. Everyone good in chat? No one's sick? No one vomiting on the floor yet? Good. That's like your only break of the entire run, just because I like to be positioned very specifically. This should be good. I was a little slow on my movement, so I needed to make that 3 shout perfect. May have gone a little bit too far forward, but I think I got away with it. No, one step too far forward. So there you go. You get an extra shout, everybody. You're welcome. Showing off for you.
Andor's Lies. Because you had to give me my favorite one.
Here's Orion's favorite fantasy: being surrounded by a bunch of burly men. They're gonna go to
give me my favorite shout to end it off with.
Yeah. Don't listen to Andor's Lies. My cat is a tremendous liar. Do not listen to my cat. He is absolutely full of it. He had a chicken stick already. He literally ate it. We watched him eat it. Anyway, they're gonna take us for some ballroom dancing lessons. Just kidding. They're basically like, hey, what is this you've been saying that Bosch isn't dead? And we're like, yeah, he's with us. Like right here. And they're like, oh shit. So anyway, we're gonna meet up with, I believe this is technically Ash's uncle, the Marquis Halim Andor IV.
Yes.
Nah, the ferret is Freya Crescent. And he's basically gonna be like, hey, we figured out where she is. Ash, as it turns out, also was taken prisoner. And when you know it, they're on the same ship as our friend Pinello, who was taken by Begamnon, who we just beat in the mines. He was like, oh, I don't actually have the girl. We turned her over to the Imperials for a bounty. So we now intentionally get ourselves imprisoned and thrown on the Dreadnought Leviathan, basically to be held captive, I guess. I don't know what they're going to do to us. I really don't care enough. But anyway, hey, we also find this guy, Vosler. What's up, homie? Really? You're going to do this to me?
He's gonna do this.
Oh my god, bro.
Nobody likes Vossler, so we're just gonna go ahead and get rid of him. He just wants to be rude about doing so.
2 misses, 2 blocks, and then a crit. This game
This is
is
why
going
nobody
to
likes
make my
Foster.
it's going to make my blood boil. Anyway, we've now successfully broken out. We're still on the ship, but we have basically escaped our captors. Now we're just going to run around the ship all willy-nilly, trying to gather some levels there. I'm not sure what was going on there. Vaughn was having a moment. You'll also notice that sometimes my characters will just be standing there doing nothing. A lot of the items you'll notice hang in the ATB bar, that little thing to the left of my character names. That is the ATB bar. Certain items that we use, or attacks or animations, have a very lengthy cooldown that what we say blocks the ATB bar. It prevents anything from happening or being reloaded into the active combat. And you'll be seeing that later. At the end of the run, I will be basically spamming Phoenix Downs because they have a very long animation cooldown, which will allow my main party members to just continue attacking, but it will prevent certain cinematics and animations from going off. I could literally spend an hour describing and explaining how the ATB system works. I'll give you the dummy version. There is a maximum effect capacity. You can only have an effect capacity of 24 in this game. So at any given point in time, 24 things can be going on. Be like, wow, that's a lot. You only have 3 characters. Correct. Every item has a weight. Every action has a weight. And not like W-A-I-T, I mean W-E-I-G-H-T. Attacking is 1 action. It costs 1. Now, if I want to use a high-level spell like Flare or Ardor, that's 8. Certain boss attacks are 8, even, I think one of them's 16 or 12. So basically, I'm just going to, on top of, juggling a party, all this ridiculous stuff at 4 times speed, also trying to keep an eye on what my party is doing and what enemies are doing. Basically, my eyes are stuck between top left of the screen, which lets me know everything that's going on with enemies and drops, as well as the bottom right, which is the most important thing, which is making sure my party members are still alive. If you'll notice, we just lost Fosler. We got Penelo back. She escaped as well. And we have our friend Ash with us again, who, well, yeah. Anyway, her name was Amalia earlier, so she lied. Just like Lamont, who was with us in the mines that we killed. Turns out his name is not Lamont, it's actually Larsa, who turns out to be evil guy Vane's younger brother. Larsa does have fabulous hair, though, and the first time I played this, I thought Larsa was a girl. It's okay.
I think everybody did.
Yeah, Larsa pretty cute. They have ruined some of my PS2 speedruns, though, so I will forever hate Larsa.
Also valid.
Also valid. Anyway, does anyone have any questions yet? Feel free to ask them, we'll cover them. This is like, I can finally slow down. What we're basically doing in this next section is I am going to do a little bit of menuing. I'm going to get an item that gives me double LP, and I'm going to start assigning that to the party members. And I'm going to be praying for teleport stone drops while I use chain mechanics. But if you have any questions about the run, now's the time to pop them into chat. We can discuss them, give them a rinse. That should be good enough. Correct. No one? We've done such an amazing job on this commentary that no one has a single question. Does Bosch believe that ice cream is a soup? Yes. He is a cultured man. Anyway, these things are really cute. Data mandragoras. We'll see a lot of them throughout the run. Looks like they're dropping me some good succulent fruit, which is awesome. How is Babby formed? Preganinant. Pregante? Anyway, hey, Vosler's back, so you know what that means. Hey, you learned your lesson. You'll notice me killing off guest members in our party, basically because they just steal experience from us. I don't like that. Look, I'm very hamstringing this run together anyway, so it's very important that I can collect everything that I need. All right.
Also, I really don't like Vosler.
Vosler is big dumb. Anyway, we have Bosch. He is going to be an Ulan as well. We like Ulan. And then Ash is going to be, hey, she's our healer for today. Everyone give her a big round of applause. And I'm going to do a lot of licensing here really quick. If you notice, we have a very large amount of LP for everybody. I think I'm going to go channeling early again.
Okay.
And then
So a lot
just
of...
normal. Go ahead, take it away. I'm gonna be face diving.
All of the license points that we've gotten, even though we're kind of making some decisions, like Kyo talking about getting channeling early, we know in the end what everything we're going to need is. So we're doing a little bit of, hey, I have all this, I'm going to do as much as I can now, but it's also, the path is very much specified so that we can get every item that we need them to be able to get to. Some of them have specific accessories they're going to need. We want to make sure there's certain armor sets that they can need, certain accessory, or certain
HP lores,
extra
battle lores.
lore, yeah, trying to get to the stat boosts. That's going to increase their amount of damage they do, the amount of health that they can get. There's a lot of fine-tuning in this that we use as little LP as possible on extra things, but we're able to get everything that we need.
Wow, short one. So I was very close to where I wanted to be. I just happened to be short one. This looks all good. I just need to swap Gambit over. And boot that. Everything looks good here.
Because we're not going to have her eating potions anymore. Now she can heal, so she's going to cast Cura, which is actually an AoE heal. Which makes it a lot more efficient for, hey, you don't need to heal everybody individually, you can just heal everyone. You'll also see that Gambit that Kyo had of Vaughn using potions is now Vaughn using a Phoenix down on Ash.
Yeah.
Most importantly, Ash has to stay alive as much as possible, because we can deal with everything else as long as she can keep the two boys alive.
Yeah, we can pretty much out-damage anything that's going to get in our way for the most part. I just need to make sure our healer stays up to keep us alive. Some important things that probably aren't discussed as well with the Seitengrat. It has, I believe, something ridiculous like a 75% chance to evade any incoming attacks. Exclusionary of magic. So we definitely abuse that as well.
We are killing these enemies specifically in a chain to try to get specific drops.
Yeah, if you kill certain enemies enough, you develop something called a chain level. And as your chain level increases, there's one teleport stone. I literally just need one more and this run can take off finally. You get different drops. Generally, they are of higher quantity and quality, which is really nice.
We're looking for, in specific, right now, teleport stones.
Got them all. I have actually exactly as many as I need, so I can just boogie. The only thing right now is money is probably still down like roughly 1,000 gil.
So enough money's gonna be tight still.
And LP is -1, so which is super weird. Like specifically -1. Drops haven't been great the entire time. That's fine. I'm gonna still just try and kill a few of these along the way. England or Italy? England chokes for a living.
Yeah, so it's the big thing there is getting those teleport stone drops, because as you can hear, we're talking about money being really tight already. We're talking about drops being really tight. Everything in this run gets very, very optimized while being kind of dependent on RNG. So we need a certain number of teleport stones so that we can go as quickly as possible. We need a certain amount of money so we can buy all the items that we're gonna need.
Burb.
Because things are gonna go
Bye, Burb.
occasionally sideways. And having the right items keeps it from going so sideways we can't recover.
Yeah, right now I have like 19 Phoenix Downs, which is comfy enough. I have one important thing I bought at the merchant was some gold needles. The only real status I don't have the ability to deal with that can't be solved by either killing a party member is stone. I get to murder 2 walls. Bills take 2 or 3 from the Red Sox. Hey, good job. Even though they suck. Yeah, we're gonna visit our friend the Demon Wall here. And hopefully this doesn't go too horrifically.
Fight or run? We better decide fast.
Quick. I very slowly start walking away. Sleep on... Okay, this is not good. I had this happen yesterday. It was very not good. I fixed it. Not the fastest way to do it, but I fixed it. So our main attacker, Bosch, got slept, and then Vaughn got X-zoned, which is basically teleported off the plane of existence. So if I would not have woken up Bosch, we would have been crushed to death and lost time.
Quick. Together we can bring it down.
And there's the whole Bjork reference right there. I'll bring Bosch back up. Vosler is doomed, which is nice, because that means I don't have to intentionally kill him right now. Be like, well, why isn't he dead yet? You're fighting bosses. Strange thing about this game, bosses do not give you experience. They only give you LP, which is very, very interesting. Kind of like the opposite of games like Legend of Dragoon, where normal enemies just give you literally nothing most of the time, and bosses give you all of your experience. Which is nice, though. The boss fights give you very, very large amounts, which reminds me, I did put that on, correct? Correct. Okay, that would have been a run killer.
Say yes?
Yeah, I did. So what...
But you didn't get it on Vaughn because he didn't have the LP for it.
No, I always put it on Bosch first. It's Bosch, and then we switch at Sash, and then switch again at second Sash.
Gotcha.
So what I was checking right there really quickly was the item called the Golden Amulet. It is super, super, super important to this run. What it does is it doubles all the LP you receive for a certain character. You're like, well, I mean, that sounds pretty cool, right? Well, I literally cannot get all the items that I need to survive this run and equipment without it. Going back to licensing, what I basically did was I gave Ash the ability to get Kira, and I also got her set for getting her the Golden Amulet in probably I'll probably pass it over to her in like an hour. I also got her something called Channeling, which reduces her MP cost by 10%. You say, wow, that's really not that much. Even early on in this, the only thing she casts is Kira, which is 26 MP, so that reduces it further 3, so it becomes 23 MP to cast. Trust me, there will be times where we will be running dangerously low, and it will save us. On both the boys, I gave them some heavy armor slots, so they can equip specifically items that I'm going to buy later, which is the winged helmet, or winged helm, I believe, which gives us really good defense, especially for this early on, but also gives us +2 to speed. If you recall earlier, Seitengrat's damage is based on strength plus speed, so we also get to do more damage with that. And we also will get something called Shielded Armor, which is a heavy armor that has Protect built in, which gives us extra defense on top of that. Ash will basically stay in her starting equipment until like the last 45 minutes of the run. It is risky. I don't care. It works for me. I will get her clothing later. The most important thing for her is we have to get her an accessory that's really, really late in the game, something called the Bubble Belt. Which gives us an ability called Bubble intrinsically. And what Bubble does is it gives you double your maximum HP. Why would we do that? Well, literally for most of the run, Ash is going to stay under 1,000 HP. Again, very, very dangerous, but calculated.
This run becomes very...
It's this is the definition of min-max.
Yeah.
Like, it really is. I would love to see a remake of Dragoon.
Everything becomes extremely dangerous that we're going to try to recover from as quickly as possible.
If you're looking for a story update, we have now grabbed the Dawn Shard, which we need to communicate with some, I don't know. Look, the story is basically like Star Wars, all right? It's literally Star Wars, except half the bad guys aren't actually that bad. Except Bergen. That dude's a dick. He is. Lets you blow bubbles. Yes, it's exactly what it does. Ugh. I should have gone to the bathroom before this run started. Oh well. Anyway, we're back to Vosler, who we thought was a good guy, but as it turns out is actually not a good guy. So we're gonna show him the door here. And you'll also, this is the first chance you can actually see a potential flaw in the setup of the run. So I'm gonna try and fix it and kind of override it manually. I set our gambits to highest HP, which sometimes you can have an enemy like Vosler, sometimes due to the way our damage works out, not get killed and end up having the lowest HP on the field, which means we won't target him all of a sudden. So you'll start to see me as we go through, until we get to like a certain level, I will basically, even though I'm letting my gambits run, I will be manually inputting, I need you to target this enemy, I need you to target this enemy. You'll see it a lot once we get into Still Shrine as well. The Mateus fight can go sideways very quickly. Very, very quickly, especially if Mateus doesn't get killed and ends up in that scenario. You'll also see it happen a lot at Bergen. Hey, anyway, we are back in Ravenaster. Thankfully, I got the teleport stones I needed, so I can skip going to Clan Hall. We are lucky in the fact that the run wouldn't end. It would just be a lot longer because I'd have to go to the Clan Hall and talk to the Moogle for about a minute, minute and a half, because they will give you the 2 teleport stones you need. Anyway, this is Gertie. Gertie's going to hook us up, and we are now going to go visit the Jahara in the Osmone Plain. Well, we have to go back through Giza, which is, well, now it's wet and an entirely different map. This is like one of the first areas we went to in the game, and it's now completely different. This game has some pretty cool time cycles, where the Giza Plains will transition between wet and dry and have completely different maps, completely different sets of enemies. And all sorts of cool stuff. There are different hunts that only come out during specific times. And yes, if you think controlling the Chocobo with Turbo at 4 times speed is difficult, it is. Yeah, it's awful. It's literally the worst experience of my life. It's like being strapped to a rocket ship.
One of the biggest things for people who are getting into this game is the speedrun. And especially doing it on TZ, not just on the vanilla PS2 version. The biggest thing is learning to control the movement at this high speed, because you run into it, not only doing this on the Chocos, but just even moving
Solomon Crystal.
Your character at 4 times speed is a talent.
Running in a straight line in this game is difficult, period. Even just no speed up, no nothing. The controls are very, very sensitive, but it's designed to help you out because there are a lot of very interesting little areas you'll see. We're gonna get back on the Chocobo once we get through all this little story, plot, and progression where we learn about the Grand Kiltius and Ash's royalty. And well, Ash is still really mad at Bosch and Vaughn because Vaughn looks like her younger brother Rex. And she is still convinced that the reason that Rex is dead is because that Bosch was a traitor. Such is not the case. We are going to talk to Xyalu up here, who's going to give us something called the Jaya Stick, which we're going to bring to the Great Chief basically as like an offering to say like, hey man, we're cool. But it is now time for a couple of upgrades. No, at least one set of upgrade. We're going to grab those winged helms while we're here. So I am going to actually sell everything first. I can get rid of all this stuff. We're not going to need it ever. I have no extra special drops there. Diamond Armlet can go though. All right, so let's see what we got here. I'm looking for a rough total. 4 green liquid is nice. That is not. 12 bone fragment is going to be the big winner of today's special prize. I'm going to clear this out too. Less to deal with overall in the end. Yeah, my money is actually pretty okay for now. Also, shoutouts to games that let you literally equip equipment right after you buy it, and you don't have to go and re-equip it in a separate menu. That is such a sleek touch. like the
It feels so much better as a gamer, whether you're talking about speed or not. It just feels good.
this is like a nerd's video game. Like just the amount of like tiny things you can control and like quality of life efficiencies it has is fabulous. Like you can control how much you sell or buy of things in like stacks of 10, or just hold triangle and hit up down for max or 1.
Forget that.
Yeah, it's very handy. That's how I do all of my selling really quick. You just hold triangle and hit up.
And the reason that you can't auto-equip bows, guns, crossbows, and bomb throwers is because of ammo.
Yep. That's right. You get different ammo.
Because of the way the ammo works, when you from remember reading into it, the way that it's written, if they were to equip the weapon for you, it would unequip your ammo.
Mm-hmm.
And so in order to keep that from happening, which would make the weapon unusable, to make sure that you actually have your ammo equipped, anything that has an ammo system has to be equipped from the menu.
Yep, because there are actually a bunch of options, both elemental and status equips. There's also varying levels in plat percent. I'm a cheeky little devil, and I try and steal assassin's arrows from one of the enemies in one of the higher floors of the Trials dungeons, because it gives +3 to attack as opposed to +1 or +2 from the bamboo arrows you can buy. Anyway, if you notice, I just kind of ran through a place that wasn't listed on the map at all, but it's a secret passage that the chocobos can take.
My chocobos are the best.
Also, they get these red demon glowing eyes when you hit the turbo button. And hey, we have made it through the Golmore jungle to Fran's ancestral home. We've made it back to the village of Ariute, or the Ariute village. You'd be like, oh man, I bet everybody's super excited to see Fran. No, she left. They hate her because she turned her back on the voice of the woods, or whatever. Also, there is a lot of just beautiful, beautiful Vieira. Hello. I like the one with short hair that's like just sitting around. It's a very cool haircut. There are no male Vieira. They're basically kicked out of the nest once they reach a certain age. They got kicked out to this weird game called Final Fantasy XIV. I don't think anyone's heard of it. It's stupid.
They're not even in 14 yet.
All right, say the line, Alfina.
I don't know what you're looking for.
Say the Final Fantasy XIV meme.
I don't buy into it. I don't remember it because I don't do it.
Same. Anyway,
Like,
we're
I
gonna meet a
love
good
14
friend.
and I don't do the meme.
Here's our boy Tetrin. Also, because we didn't sell the Jaya stick, we in exchange get a recurve bow, which is worth a lot of money. But our boy Tetrin here has our shielded armor that we need. If you notice, it tells you we get 25 defense and on equip protect, which is really nice because that, I believe, reduces incoming damage by 20 or 25%, I think?
25.
Which is really nice early on. Anyway, now that we have talked to the Vieira, they basically been like, hey, while you're out here, you know, one of our people is stuck in a mine because she followed the voice of the woods and it like drove her crazy with the mist. We haven't even touched on the mist. Don't worry about it. Basically, areas with mist make Fran go berserk, which is what happened in Bosler land, and it also gives us increased MP regeneration. Anyway, all these guards that were out here earlier are dead. That's weird. Yeah, Mirn is our mine person. And Lente. Anyway, we're now in the mines. There's some cool stuff that happens in the mines, like me opening this switch. Welcome to your first switchboard puzzle. Final Fantasy XII loves these for whatever reason.
They really do.
Oh, switchboards. Yep, you'll see switchboards and colored corridors. Lots of reds and blues. Anyway, 610. Shoutouts to the 610. I think I need one more level. I'm trying to get to 18, I think, for Tiamat here. 16, so I got 2 to go.
I say I don't have the level notes.
I've been running it at 18, but leaving Larsa up just for extra back-end support. Also, still trying to collect some drops here. These aren't the good ones. I'm hoping I can get some Grimoire Togiles here. I got 2 of those. Very nice. Boshik's 17. Boshik needs 1 more level. So probably like 1 or 2 Tyrannotars, and we'll be out of here.
So those of you who played Final Fantasy XII on PS2,
oops.
If you had Larsa in the party, you couldn't control much of what Larsa did, and on top of that, Larsa would heal and use up all of your potions.
Now's the time.
He would very much do that. Now, they actually gave you the ability to, while you can't so much customize guest gambits, what they can do is sorry, I'm lost my train of thought.
It's all right. I did my revive train movement there.
Yeah. I just watched the menu and just completely went off track for that. But you can actually like turn off certain things, but not only that, but Larsa doesn't actually pull from your stack of potions.
They do this time. In TZA they do, which is why Larsa comes. Yeah, Larsa comes with Kira, as opposed to Potion. But yeah, Larsa used to be an infinite healing machine, which is where we do our jelly grinding in the PS2 version. But yeah, IZJS, all guests now pull from your actual inventory.
But you also can say, no, I don't want you doing that.
Yes, correct. You can change your guest gambits, which is nice. You'll see me actually, certain guests actually bring items into the party, like Redis. Redis brings something called Domain Calvados, which is basically bravery as an item. 696 looks about right. And this is Tiamat. I'm just gonna kind of pull Disable on everybody except Larsa. That literally could not have gone worse. Oh, everyone is disabled. Fabulous. Are you kidding me?
So this is what a run going slightly sideways looks like.
Basically, all I had to do was just kind of burn time and stay away, though. Thankfully.
Yes.
It's
easy
just
to deal
time
with.
loss.
It's just time. But it's a good example of what it can look like, because hopefully we won't see anything else going completely sideways. But effects like that, when they start affecting party members,
it's so rare that everyone gets disabled too. Like the statistical chances of it are very, very low. So it's not something to really worry about for the most part. Oops.
Yeah. And then you'll end up also seeing, because what we really want to avoid is it doing not disable, but it starts kind of doing a cycle of wiping of our party members. We do have now the revive train built in, so each party member is basically supposed to pick up one other specific party member.
As opposed to any, because any means I'd be picking Larsa's dead butt up constantly.
That. And then that just burns a lot of really expensive items.
Vaughn is slept and slow. That should wear off eventually here. I'm not even going to really bother with it because on the other side of the map.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, I'm still hoping we can PB here. It's just less likely. All right, well, that happened. Not what I wanted. I blame Vaughn.
This
anyway,
is why we have gold needles.
These guys are horrible. Ash being blind is okay. So we didn't lose massive time. I normally wipe there for whatever reason, either because of the trap going off or those are the much nastier cousins of the cute little mandragoras we were killing out in the Sand Sea. They can cause confuse. If you get confused, you now have a party member that's doing thousands of damage to our party members that have hundreds of HP. But hey, we are now making our way to go visit the Grand Kiltias. They are at Mount Burrow Masase. We meet another character called Sid. There are 2 Sids in this game, believe it or not. You have Al Cid and Sid. Quality pelts, very nice. That was a nice lucky drop. Yeah, I think they're technically nightshades. So there aren't a lot of there definitely are some unique character models in the game, but the groups of enemies stay pretty consistent. They just get stronger and have different names. Yeah, there's technically Alcid and Sidolphus. So there's technically not a Cid, but there are 2 Cids.
This is actually one of my favorite zones.
Oh, it's
just for
beautiful. Super cool.
I will spend time casually just enjoying the look of the space.
Oh, very beautiful. Also, eventually you get to punch a giant dinosaur face for 500,000 gil. Sid Fernandez. Yeah. Ah. Big yawn. We're like halfway through the run-ish, almost, I think. What's the timer say? Mash, give me a timer update. Also, Larsa has left the party. Mash probably sleeping.
I see 119.
I have no idea if that's on pace or not, but it sounds good. But yeah, we're a little bit more than halfway through the run. 119 seems incredibly slow, though. Actually, my Venuskar PB is 125.57. Yeah,
I to think of everything is slow.
Everything is slow. Hey, we're gonna talk to Gertie again, the traveling chocobo renter, and we are gonna go visit a very interesting place called the Still Shrine of Miriam. After we leave Mount Omasase, sorry. Dun, 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 dun. And we'll do our normal musical shoutouts because I only play video games with great music. This soundtrack was composed by Hitoshi Sakamoto, who did, in my opinion, a fabulous job. Yes, the Still Shrine of Miriam also has a cool gimmick. We have the Dawn Shard that we grabbed from the... I'm forgetting the name of the place where Belias is.
You know, I could have rattled it off until you said that.
Yep, true. Anyway, well, what we need is we need that to access certain areas of the Still Shrine, aka literally all of it. The Tomb of Wraithwall. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
So I'm one of the...
All I had was...
Our active party member has to have that on. Well, that's going to create a conundrum because, well, we're doing like the Golden Amulet stuff. Darn tootin'. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock that other license board. You know, I'll split hedge on this. I am going the wrong way too. I just wasted so many license points. You know what I am going to do? I'm just going to take the time loss right here and just reload that and try again.
Okay.
I was honestly juggling at what I wanted to do, and I did nothing that was correct.
That's the move I would have made, because it was like,
You could do that. There's a reason I don't give the Dawn Shard to Ash, believe it or not. It's very important that she keeps her bangle on, so I know what we're doing. All right, let's try this again. So that's an unfortunate time loss. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. We'll just have to run really good for the rest of the run and sneak a PB in. I am aiming for sub 239.37. We're also going to give Von Shikari here. It gives us access to some really cool stuff later on in the run. But mainly, I need it to get access to Sash as quick as possible. That's going to be his next big thing. I will not get it just quite yet, but that is okay. We're going to give Belias, which is one of the Espers that we killed earlier, to Bosch. He'll need that for story progression later. I get Sash before armor, so yeah, I'm doing the right thing here. I don't know why, I just kind of dead-brained it. That's all right. It's a stupid time loss. We'll be okay. As long as I can get out of here with relatively decent time, we should be fine. And I'm going to give Bosch Sash early, very early, but hey, it all kind of equals out. I'm going to get him started on getting his armor unlocked as well. Armor is completely unlocked for Bosch and has Sash access. Ash, on the other hand, I'm just gonna go and get the rest of what she needs for her eventual equipment. I just kind of do it all here because I'm in the menu. I may as well just continue to be in the menu. What do you make? Grilled cheese, Bubba? That smells delicious. Eggs in a basket. What a move. All right, so we are going to swap the Dawn Shard onto Bosch. Gold bangle there. And he is leading, so that's totally okay. Yeah, like if you notice, there's a lot of stuff like in the menu. Like in the menus, if you hold triangle and hit down, it takes you to the bottom of the menu. There's so many like really weird efficiencies and intricacies built into this run that I really enjoy as like someone who craves efficiency in my life. There is one other thing I could have done. I probably could have swapped Ash over to 70%. Also, remind me to grab Bubble Moat right side Mateus room.
Bubble Moat.
Yeah, it's right side in Mateus's room. I take out these Dragon Aviuses. Sometimes they drop really good stuff. Those Worm Carapaces are great. I'm glad I at least got one of them. It's almost 700 gil. So because we have the Dawn Shard, we can touch all these pedestals, unlock certain areas of the run. I'm just really annoyed that I've had two stupid things that are probably going to end up with me not being able to PB again, just for like pure shenanigans sake. He's trying to cast Dark. He ain't casting anything except sit down. I'm going to kill these weird faces coming out of this room here. 1 and 2. Don't care about the drops. We're level 20. I want to be about 21 for Mateus, so we're on the right direction. Need to open my on-screen map again. The on-screen map is a very interesting addition, but it makes sense. However, you'll see later in the run that it does not work out as well as the devs thought it would. I'll explain it and we'll have a good hearty laugh about it later. I don't think I have any breaks in the run. Like, oh well, bring out the bucket.
A Buckethead?
Nah, I didn't get a chance to go to the bathroom before the run, so I'm gonna have to figure this out as we go. Wow. I don't think I have any. I have a couple of like mashing scenes I could probably get away with once we get to like Dolphinheim. And thankfully, we were mentioning blindfolded runs earlier on my stream. I can do some of the movement of this game blindfolded without sight, so we'll make it work. In the immortal words of our Lord and Savior Tim Gunn, make it work. Bubba, make it work.
Pretty good at making it work.
What'd I do? And hey, that's good. We only have a 1-turn statue here. Basically, the rule of thumb with these statues is I want them facing inside, towards the center. This is one giant puzzle where you basically have to try and convince that giant statue in the middle of the room to lift its sword so we gain access to the boss room. Yeah, I'm praying for every little good bit of RNG I can grab, Dan, trust. I really am tired of not PBing in this run due to things I can't control. To be fair, I made that big menuing mistake that cost me, I'm gonna say roughly a minute. Hopefully it's not as much, but hopefully the rest of the run sails smooth. This is gonna be what I call a troll statue. The good news is, while I'm waiting, is I can grab these 3 drops because I'm gonna have some time to kill. Bomb ashes are super handy. Please let me interact with the statue again. It takes a while. I'm just gonna run for the rest of these.
Okay.
We are going to now interact with a boss fight with Venuskar that has a very interesting field status. If you are wearing metal armor or using metal equipment, you're basically inflicted with slow, which is pretty weird. Being as I really don't care, this guy can go take a seat. Ash missing MP is literally the least of my problems at this point. It's like literally not a matter. That is a Sage's Ring, which is super important to the plat percent run. It, I believe, absorbs or makes you immune to holy damage and also is half MP cost, which is very, very important for our main healer when she's casting a spell that baselines at like almost 60 MP per cast. However, for us in the any percent run, it's really great because it is 13,000 gil. Yeah, I know. I run Final Fantasy 15 and I've heard the same line too, except it's interact with jump. It's one of those things I'm just trying to be as quick as possible. So for me, it's more jitters and impatience than interact, open battle menu. Believe it or not, that's not the reason, Dan. There's a reason for that person's name, and it's literally it's literally simpler than anyone ever gives it stress to. Anyway, the puzzle has been completed, so we're gonna warp ourselves back down to the area, and we're gonna go take on Mateus. This is a pretty tricky fight. Again, I'm gonna basically mash manual attacks. Yep, and the bubble moat. I'm actually going to set Bosch to attack. Oh yeah, by the way, with this battle menu, you can preset where your cursor wants to be. I set that up earlier in the run. Okay, 22, so a little, actually I'm 21, 22 is right where I want to be. Very nice, wee outie. That's Mateus. Wow. Pretty quick fight. Ash went down, that's totally fine. Bubble moat should be this side, I think. If not, it's an elixir and it's extra money. Yep, that's fine. Extra money is always good. Bubble moat. Again, it's kind of worth it for me to waste that 5-10 seconds just for backup money. And the bubble moat makes one of my boss fights that I literally underlevel for safer. Hey, we got the Sword of the Kings. The Sword of the Kings is important because it has the ability to cut Nethicite. Yep. It's very, very handy. There's a rejuvenation trap and a mana font trap, which is very nice. Gives us, make sure we're full health, full MP on our way out of here. Because our next boss is a jerk. His name is Bergen. My Bergen split is a 130-46. How are we looking? Probably behind, I'd assume.
131.
I'm at 131 already? Oh, Christ. This is awful. No PB for me today. Run decided to debate me all day. This was over once Pinello decided that she wanted to combo kill Bosch. Vaughn, whatever. She's a jerk. Oh well. Let's have to try for a PB after this. Anyway, damn. Big ol' airship. Anyway, we gotta get back to MBO. We got the things. We gotta talk to the Grand Kiltius. Anyway, things are not looking so hot, as you can tell by the scenery. What happened is one of the Imperial judges came to town and decided to kill the Grand Kiltius. His name is Bergen. He's a jerk. We feel no sympathy for him. And he can ruin any runs on the PS2 version because he has the stupid ability to block magic. We use reflected magic in the PS2 version of this run. And if it gets blocked enough, well, Bergen just kills you because you run out of MP, health, and time.
Basically.
Yeah, Bergen's a jerk. Imagine killing a defenseless old man that looks like a raisin. You know, table brush? Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up behind him and just keep mashing. That was actually really quick. Very nice. I might be able to fight back some time here, hopefully. Things just have to go pretty much my way for the rest of the run, otherwise we're boner zoned. Anyway, we killed Bergen. He's a jerk. He got what he deserved. He should have known better. Well, now even more sad. We don't know what to do, so basically we're just gonna head out to the Fawn Coast. Our best bet now is to try and get to Arcades. Arcades is like the big Imperial city. But of course, because things are horrible and we're basically wanted criminals at this point for killing judges, we have to try and sneak a back way in. So what we're gonna do is go to the Mosfern Highways and then the Fawn Coast and sneak in via the Sochin Palace Cave, which is arguably one of the worst places in the game. It is awful. You have two incredibly RNG boss fights back to back, and they are just heinously ruthless. Thankfully, in this version of the game, it's pretty simple. You just have to not get like super hyper unlucky. Yeah, we got to find some Moogles along the way too. I also have to grab a few items along the way for sale, for trade. One of them being these thieves' cuffs. They're a pretty cool accessory, but they're also worth 1,300 gil. Trust me, I will need it. Scooty Booty the boys around, everyone up to level 22, so I'm in pretty decent shape. I think I do sit around 25. I have been Berserk, which is not the greatest, but also at the same time is going to be very helpful. Berserk, you lose control of your party members, but they now attack everything, have additional range, and do way more damage than usual. Bond is 23. 23 is good. 23 is roughly where I want to be. I think my money is still kind of touch and go, so I'll probably snipe a few pumpkin heads along the way here, hope for some succulent fruit drops. Anyway, welcome to, I don't remember the name of this place. It's pretty cool though. The Stillwood?
It's like the Silkwood.
Yeah, it's the Salika Wood. Anyway, the Salika Wood's cool. They got these cute pumpkin heads laying around. But basically, our first goal here is we gotta find all the Moogles to fix the gate so we can get out of here. To get over to the Fawn Coast. The Moogles are on break. They're look, union work is great, but like, hey, I gotta pull some strings to get things going here. The Moogle boss is like, hey, I need you to find the 9 bums that are on break right now. We're like, all right, dude, gotcha. Anyway, I'm gonna go track some of these Moogles down real quick. Anyone got any questions or anything to say? My mouth hurts. Handkerchief is useless right here, but it's money all the same.
We can get.
Yep, optional boss in here, which is really cool. There's also, like, in the upper levels of the Salika Wood, there's some really cool biting mantis. Biting mantis is up here. Mom Bomb is up here.
Also, it's not an unauthorized break. If you pay attention to their dialogue, all the Moogles are basically told to take a break.
Yeah.
It just breaks over, and we need to get back to work. And so you're going around and going, "Hey guys,
Time.
good work, but
Time.
time to get back
Go.
to work."
Taps watch impatiently.
So it's definitely not an unauthorized break. It's
Yep.
just a come on guys, time to get back to work.
Good old Carrot. Carrot's nasty. Status ailment queen Carrot. To be honest, most of my movement isn't done like looking where I'm going. It's just following the on-screen map I have. That's the only way that I've found that you can effectively move through this game without smashing into everything at 4 times speed. There's my secret. Use it as you will.
I do the same thing.
Bruh.
I don't know how else you're supposed to do that if you don't
Be good.
use that menu.
All right, so hey, the best part about this is we got all the Moogles like, hey, you want to come back with us? And we're like, yes. I'm like, all right, cool. Bam, pop you right in front of the gate. Also, very important discussion need to have with the Moogle boss. I'm gonna pull him aside after they get the gate open for me. I'm like, listen here, little bastard. Like, oh, please don't hurt me. Here, take this wonderful item that you need. The Moogle boss in the base game gives you Quasimodo boots, which are very handy. I believe they prevent against immobilize. But here, he gives us something called the Sash, which I think in this version gives us like immunity to fire damage or something silly like that. But more importantly, it gives us plus 25 to speed. So someone is about to get a very big damage boost. That is going to be Bosch. Bosch is going to benefit from it first.
Have you even caught on? We like speed.
Yeah, because our damage is based on speed plus strength. I think I'm going to go for Risky Sid, and if it fails, I'm going to just swap Gambit mid-round and just kind of take the L.
Okay.
I want to go fast! Anyway, these Boggly are annoying because they have second-tier arrow magic, Aurora, which does very large amounts of damage. I'm going to side skirt them, though, and hey, welcome to Fawn Coast. I do have a bit more menuing to do. However, because I took time to do a lot of it earlier, it should be shorter than it normally is. Thank you for letting me know I have Mateus on the deck. All right, and with this last license, the boys should have all the armor slots open that they need. The rest of it's just going to be HP, MP, Focus, and Sash. Vaughn will now have the ability to grab Sash as well, which is good. He'll need it very shortly. Bosch has everything he needs. He already has Sash, so he's just going to get a little bit of an HP boost here. Ash, I'm just going to push further up towards getting her bubble belt. At this point in time, I'm also going to equip Sash here. Golden Amulet can stay, and we'll be alrighty. I'm going to sell off everything that I've picked up along the way, and we're going to pray that I have enough money. Right now, it's not looking super terrific. I see 7 succulent fruit. That's going to be big.
Nice, nice.
Not great. See what I can do.
So when you're going through this game, by selling a lot of your,
Just enough, I think.
what do they call them? Treasure items? I call them trash items. Because the majority of the things that are in that category you really aren't going to use other than like teleport stones and Gishel greens.
We in. And I'll have enough for everything for the rest of the run.
Wonderful. But so once you... So the majority of those you just kind of sell, and when you sell enough of them, and it's, in some cases specific ones, you get new bizarre items. We're not really going to... I don't think we really use any of them in
We
the
use
run, do we?
none of them. I use them in plat percent for Canopic Jar, and a lot of it helps for the spend a million gil. But the bizarre items are like pretty cool packages, and 95% of the time, it's like a deal. Like there's one where you can get, I think, like just the simplest is you can get like 5 potions and 2 Phoenix Downs for 250 gil, which is normally like almost 400 or 500. And there's a lot of specific things that you necessarily can't buy at vendors that you can get from them as well. Anyway, this kid's gonna give us this quest for the cutest boss in the game, the Mandragoras, the Alrune, the Pumpkinhead, the Onion Prince? I don't know. There's a bunch of them. They're pretty cute, though. Yeah, the Bazaar. Also, Silence is setting up on that hill. I think it's Silence. Something. Anyway, welcome to Sochin Palace Cave. It's not a great place to be. Silence on Bosch does nothing. I don't care.
Really, the only person we don't want to be silenced is Ash.
I do not even
Because that'll
bother gambiting that. If it happens, I'll deal with it. It's kind of one of those things it's not worth wasting the LP on.
It doesn't happen enough.
Don't say that. Not with these bosses here.
It happens, but I was saying it doesn't happen enough to warrant the LP cost.
There we go.
Because in order for us to do it, we need another gambit slot.
Yeah, which means I have to take the time to actually get one and then set it up and then use it. Like, for me, it's just not worth it. I run this really hard. Haste Emote and a bunch of money. The important thing is you think like, whew, man, Kios, you had enough to get the equipment you needed, right? Easy go, right? No, we have to meet a guy after this hellhole of a place that basically demands even more money from us. His name is Jules. I don't like Jules. But we need to carry money so we can pay Jules so we can continue the story. Otherwise, we have to go and farm and sell stuff, and then, yeah, we're just not about it. My money is good. My LP is actually comfy. I'm gonna skip some stuff here. Even if it's only 2 or 3 enemies, it's worth the time save in the long run. All right, so we're going to be heading to one of the most notorious bosses in the run. It is Armon. They have the ability to divide and also confuse and all sorts of incredibly horrible status ailments. So hopefully this is good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try and skip some enemies somewhere along the way. Maybe Pharaohs. I think I'm pretty sure I'm over leveled slightly. All right, so I just got to keep an eye out for Confusion and Mazer Eye. No Mazer Eye yet, and no Phantasmal Gaze. Lazara, come on, you're wasting my time here, Chief. Doom, whatever. Okay, clean fight, nothing crazy going on there. All right, now the reason I didn't put the Dawn Shard on Ash is literally because of this area. So there is no place to save in here unless you take on a very strong crystal bug, and then you are immediately faced with some pretty difficult boss battles. And then you have to get out of this area, which is very heavily trapped, and it's just an absolute nightmare. And I did it without taking any damage or anything stupid happening. Go me. Decent. Stretch your wrist there a little bit because you're old and freaky. And hey.
This game will do a number to your wrists.
Yep. We'll activate the lift, and hey, we're gonna back end into old Arcades. There is no farm here, just depression, destitution, and poverty. E-I-E-I-O. Anyway, welcome to Detroit. I mean, Arcades.
Oh, it hurts.
It hurts. Anyway, we're gonna talk to the stranded merchant. He has 2 of these things I want, which I will mess up menuing. That is Bacchus's wine. It has the ability of casting Bazoik on, that is, why are you clicking 3D printer? You're making me nervous. Oh, is that Freya? No, it's not Freya.
Everything's about to explode. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
No, it's gonna double.
So we're basically going ahead and getting all the information that we need to be able to do this as quickly as possible.
Actually,
because we're gonna go
without that crystal.
Yeah. But it's a marathon.
It's a forced habit. Man, I should have gone to the bathroom here. I had to choose the right amount. Jules. Yeah, Bacchus makes everyone angry drunk. There's a lot of Shakespearean and Greek references in this game. I think it was ancient Greek or ancient Roman. I don't remember where Bacchus is from specifically. Anyway, look, here's Jules sucking more money off of us. Yo, thanks, Crazy.
I mean, that's the thing though with you know, Greek and Roman is the Romans all stole it all from the Greeks, so
Yep.
it gets kind of fuzzy pretty quick.
That's why I normally just go with Greek. If I'm wrong, someone corrects me. Anyway, we're just gonna tell that guy we talked to earlier that someone stole his bag of coins. And Jules is like, yo, look at these idiots fighting. And that's gonna pull the Imperial Guards down and we can just kind of sneak into the actual city. You know, the rich part of town, as they would say. The nice part of town. Or whatever. The people in Arcades literally walk through poo-poo with their noses held high, thinking they're better than they're everybody. Balthier's facial expressions in this game blow my mind for a PS2 game. Like, the amount of expression that he pulls off non-verbally is just, like, fabulous. Honestly, I think this is really, like, one of the first games that I noticed, like, the inclusion of a lot of non-verbal language. And, like, it actually being really good, as opposed to just like, wow, that's horrible. Anyway, back to everyone's favorite thing, chops.
I like chops a lot more in this one because there's a lot less.
And you can buy chops. In plat percent, at least.
Yeah.
He wanted to be a method actor when he was young. Yeah, just the technology and the ability was much better, you know, a few years after Final Fantasy X came out.
Well, I think they learned a lot from 10 of
Meg Ryan.
where things kind of
Where's my guy? Where's my guy? Where's my guy? There he is.
so that they could develop it better to be a lot more interesting.
Yep. The good thing about chops in this version is you only need 3 as opposed to I think it's like 9 to ride the taxi cab.
Yes.
There's the husband. He's coming up the stairs. Perfect. You would.
As we learned from Jules a little while ago, information is power.
Lamb chops are really good. I love a good pork chop though. Nice thick cut, like maybe Berkshire. Anyway,
Not make me
chops are
hungry
done.
for this run.
I have not eaten today. Where's the lamb sauce? Oh, sorry. Where's the lamb sauce? Forgot to hit the reverb button. No lamb sauce?
I'm good.
You ever watch Lamb Chop as a kid? Great show. Very educational.
Yeah.
A bit strange, though. Balthier's gonna throw some hand gestures at us. And now we're gonna have even more exposition. As it turns out, the man we're going to visit is Balthier's dad. And Balthier's dad is into some very not cool things, like dealing with the Acuria and manufacturing Nethicite. Basically just being really evil and screwing with things that he really shouldn't be because he is a silly, foolish mortal. Yeah, Sherry Lewis. Anyway, you know where to go. So basically what's going to happen is there's going to be an explosion in the laboratory. And we're going to have a cute discussion about how Balthier and Jules are super close. Yeah, close enough for fisticuffs. And we tell the cabbie to just shut up and mind his own business. Anyway, we're going to land in the Dracula Laboratory, which is where Balthier's dad does research. Doing horrible things for the Empire. And as you can tell, there's a bunch of Imperial soldiers, and they are not doing so hot. And, you know, you can stop and ask them what happened. They're like, well, something happened in the laboratory. Basically, Balthier's dad has gone mad with power and now has an Acuria, giving him power and energy and magics.
Basically.
Also, you get this banging military march.
The music in this entire game is fantastic.
I'm telling you, Hitoshi Sakamoto, totally slept on when it comes to Final Fantasy composers. Yeah, I know. Final Fantasy 15, our dad dies, and then he kills us. In Final Fantasy 12, our dad's alive, and we have to go kill him. You know, it's way of the world sometimes. Hey, didn't get elevator trolled, which means I won't get elevator trolled the second time through.
You saying that you run the Final Fantasies with daddy problems?
I don't know what I'm doing with my life anymore. My dad's cool. He's still in chat. He's chilling.
Just noticing the trend after you said it. It's like...
It's just those two. Everything else is fine. Anyway, we have a little bit of a puzzle here if it wasn't stated. Basically, the entire building has gone into lockdown, and the only way to navigate through it is by opening and closing certain bulkheads, switching which ones are open and which ones are closed based on their color coding. Saw's great dad. Great hair. Great chocobo. Dodge. I think that gives us level 25. Bosch is going to open the door from, like, outside of the door. Don't ask questions. It's just that one has a really weird hitbox, and I have to use it. Yeah, this is a very long track, even though it, like, could literally be broken down into a small, like, 1-minute loop. That dude standing outside asking for a bad time to happen. Try attacks are awful. High potion, high potion, high potion. I'll sell those off later if I need money, but at this point we're good with money. All right, so we're gonna get set up for Sid. I am going to have to read this battle hot. I think that my damage should statistically be okay, that I might be able to get the full skip if things go correctly. If not, I will fix it mid-fight, and that's what we're gonna do.
Fine.
Also, Heiska, giving us our best chance to get through it. Basically, I just need to see what happens. If Paling goes up, we're kind of screwed. Okay, I have to swap gambits now.
Behind your toys. Pity if anything were to happen to them.
Unfortunately.
So a lot of what's going on with this is we're trying to do it as quick as possible, but at risk. So when it starts kind of falling apart,
It was a quick recovery, at least.
we can recover really quickly if we're paying attention.
Yeah, basically what
Else
happened...
we expect it to go wrong.
Yeah, what happened was I couldn't get enough damage onto Sid before he threw up his barrier. The only way to get it down is to then get rid of the rooks, because they just keep casting all sorts of buffs onto him, so... Unfortunately... Anyway, we're going to end up in this cool port town called Balfenheim, where this man has his face completely bandaged. This lady has her underwear on the outside. And there's this weird dog in a trench coat with a parrot. Look, I do not make the rules. I just am here to enforce them. Also, those two are some of the most difficult fights in Trials. You fight Elza and Rickon. They are a nasty combo. I do not, you know, I'll just do it here just in case.
Oh, man.
I'm good on that. Mew, listen to your mother. I'm just gonna buy those Phoenix Downs, and that honestly might carry us through the entire rest of the game. I'm gonna grab money and I'll probably touch up on the way out, but I do not need any teleport stones. I should have 3 or 2 left. I have 2 left. Be very careful here.
Let's do.
I'm going to go to MBO. Yes, correct. All right, we're gonna talk to Gertie again, take another chocobo. This time we're actually gonna go back to the Feywood, the area that we kind of just barely skirted into, and I got that nasty trap encounter and just, well, it wasn't a good time. But now we are kind of leveled up and ready for it, and hopefully can survive it without any weird things happening. We have a friend to go visit down there by the name of Rafflesia, which is one of the weirdest bosses in my opinion.
Yeah. Weird is the right word.
Even the strat for the PS2 version is weird. It's the only reason we continue to carry cherry staves. I'm actually just gonna blow through everything. I just needed to get through that first little area without hitting any of the status encounter boys. My HP is in perfect shape, as is my MP. I am not touching the save crystal. Yeah, the Feywood's very interesting.
Love the Feywood.
What's our time looking at? We under 2 hours still?
159.
We're ahead somehow. Miracle. Alrighty, so now we are still in the Feywood, but we're heading towards an area called Giravegan. This is another interesting set of puzzles where you have to kind of figure out where you're supposed to go based on what mirages and images you see on the map. This hopefully is going to take me right across the bubble belt, as it should.
Something interesting
please.
that you guys are also probably noticing looking at the screen is that the mini-map seems to be a little useless.
Yep, it's useless. It's very useless.
However, the map that we've got on screen that we've been using and following does not seem to be affected at all by the same thing that's affecting your mini-map.
I mean, to be honest though, all you have to do is just line up, get the glyph, and go. It looks like we're gonna have to come across Giraveganus, which is a bummer. I was a little slow in this section, but we should be okay coming out of here, I think. Oh no Giraveganus. I have missed, and we summon Belias at this gate. Yeah, the mini-map gets funky because of mist. There's so much mist. We gain charge and MP a lot quicker here because of the high activity of magic, the mist. Definitely lost some time there, but I did grab the bubble belt. Our pretty much last pretty serious bout of mentoring, which will be shorter, is going to be coming up once we actually enter the lower parts of Giravegan, the Halmika water step and stuff like that.
Yep. So the bubble belt is extremely important for us in this run because we've been talking about how much we min-max everything.
Ash still has less than 1,000 HP.
That includes the fact that, HP is extremely low. That happens because of the fact that we don't want to spend the license points.
And Ash doesn't really have any either on that board.
Yeah. But we can at least kind of make up for it using items like Bubble Belt, which will double their health.
I'm also going to try something really silly that might actually work out in my favor.
Okay.
It's just going to be... It gives him extra range and damage, which hopefully will help out. Okay, we have Sash already. Vaughn's going to get the rest of his HP. He's going to take over party lead. And I will have enough for swiftness here, and I think battle lore already. So yeah, I really am way ahead of the curve here. Bless you, Freya. Yeah, our damage is way good right now. I can actually, like, slow down on pretty much everything. I can avoid as much as I want. but our damage is going to be really, really high.
Okay. There's worse things.
Okay, yeah, they both have Sash. I had to double check myself there.
It's worth double checking now versus.
Ash has
going
enough
to make-
for Bubble Belt. It's going to get this extra channeling over here. And I'm going to give her 30 HP. And another magic lore so she heals a little bit more.
There's certain amounts that we have to get everything very, very specific, but in situations where we have a little bit of extra LP, there's certain ones that we'll prioritize over others to make things just a little bit easier.
Unintentional. Yeah, I'm 27, so I just want to boogie down and get out of here.
Yep.
Oh, hey, I did that thing where I forgot where I was going. Okay, tap, KO, this is not good.
The thing where you forgot where you were going, I mean, that's the majority of this place, I swear.
Yeah, this is about to be very bad. Okay, I have no targets at least. I can recover from this. Okay, so that was incredibly slow and embarrassing and awful. But what I'm gonna do here is try and get the party back up.
That happens in this place actually very easily.
Will consume you. That's really not what I wanted to have happen there. It's a massive time loss. I will just be a little bit more careful here. 28 is actually kind of where I want to be. I was going to try and push it to 27, but... Oof. Just literally cannot avoid status ailments to save my life. What? I have no idea what even wiped me there. Alright, so this
No
isn't
idea.
great.
This is an example of things going sideways.
Yep, I'm probably gonna have to reload this. Typical. Another PB pace run, just dies to some ridiculous shit again.
What helps sometimes for marathon safety, because normally if you were running this for PB, you'd have abandoned it and moved on, is that we do have this autosave that happens, which at least allows us to recover what we can and move forward.
Awful. Just awful. The big nuisance here now is Ash is also out of MP. Are you kidding me?
So you get MP by...
I'm screwed. There's like literally zero way out of this right now.
So you gain MP by moving. So that's one of the benefits of the kind of fast-paced momentum that we maintain, is that it kind of helps get Ash to maintain her magic.
I'm
Of
so
course,
mad.
things go different directions. She does run out of mana from time to time.
The biggest issue wasn't Ash there. We got the
No.
Untitled spawn, and if I would have cast magic anywhere near it, it just obliterates your party.
Yeah, I was just about to go into that one. The issue that happened, that Entite casts all sorts of status ailments, but also just does so much damage. it shows up on the map as a completely passive enemy. And as long as you don't cast any spells anywhere near it, it'll maintain being a passive enemy and you don't have to worry about them. However, any spell cast anywhere near it will make it go into pure rage mode.
I assume we are not behind a 210. We're probably well past that.
208?
208, that's still slower than I want to be.
I know.
It's probably unnecessary, but give it the onesie-twosie here. All right, bubble was worth it there. Anyway, welcome to the Grand Crystal, the Great Crystal even, where I will continue to lose time and complain. I'm also going to be stuck in this cycle until
Map is annoying.
thank you. It kind of worked out, but Ash's MP is now boned because of that.
Yep.
Is what it is. Is what it is. This, by the way, is where we're actually going to get Ash's first new set of clothing. Congratulations, Ash. I went the right direction for once.
So in here, if you guys notice, the map on screen, and it doesn't seem to help us any, and our mini-map is gone.
Thankfully, for any percent, you just go down.
Yep.
Just literally go down. That was awful. All right, there's one part of Ash's outfit. Wow, really? Weird. Not expecting to see that spawn. Arcane forces at work.
I kind of appreciate that because this place doesn't have the mini-map, because they wanted you to kind of stumble around and figure it out, that they did actually take that away from the other map as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this map would make
no.
no sense anyway, because it's a massive area. Like, it's absolutely massive. Like, to get all the way down to the depths and do the optional boss here while collecting all the items, it's something like 100-something steps, I think. Zath wrote out directions for me, and then we like realized we didn't have to do half of it, so I just go down, collect what magics I need, and get out.
I just have to kind of applaud them because it's just well designed puzzle place. I don't know if I like calling it a dungeon.
I just want a PB now. That's all I care about at this moment in time. I'm just very annoyed with the hand I've been dealt multiple times with this run. All right. That's Shemazai. They're a horse. They're dead. They're an Esper. They're the Whisper. Anyway, we're gonna go take a trip and visit the Acuria. Being in this giant crystal, we can now talk to the Acuria, where they tell us that Vana is a heretic, and that it's all Sid's fault. And that we must stop him and the Dawn Shard. We have to take the Treaty Blade with us, which is designed to deal with it. because it's built into the game and was part of the original release.
Yep. It's fun to go fast.
Yep, and now it's time to go back to Balfenheim. Final dungeon time.
Absolutely love it though. It's like one of my favorite dungeons in this entire game.
You like Pharaohs? What is wrong with you?
I do. There's a lot wrong with me, but we don't have the time to go into that.
I don't have enough money. I'm not your psychiatrist.
But casually, I enjoy it.
Just in case. Rest of the run. Good. Get out of here. Go. Anyway, we gotta go pick up this dude named Redis at his manse. It's not even a mansion. Dude's too cool to call it a mansion. It's a manse. It's built out onto the sea, and he is going to accompany us on our exploits to the Pharaohs at Ridorana, the Ridorana Cataract. So we're gonna have a jaunty chat with everybody. And we're gonna meet the cutest Moogle who takes care of our ship. Her name is Nono. They've got a wrench. They look about as capable as literally like nothing. But you just pick it up and you're like, oh no, you did a great job today. The Moogles in this game are exceedingly cute. Anyway, we finally have access to our airship. I have to sneeze. I sneezed. Second one, but I wanted to start dialogue first. Anyway, we are going to board the ship, and we're just going to go to the Ridorana Cataract. All right, see everybody. Goodbye. The stroll. Yeah, and they have those cute little wings on their backpacks. Adorable. I'm gonna try and get the boys set up early to try and give them a little bit of extra damage to save some time in this fight. One other thing now that I'm thinking about it is I need to take this off of Redis so I can use this later. All right, boys are set up with Bacchus Wine, so hopefully do a little bit of an additional damage here. If I time this right, it should just last for the fight, and that's it. Hopefully nothing crazy going on here, no curse or annul or anything like that. Bio's a great start. Thea, have a terrific time. Hydro down.
It's always nice when it's just 1, 2, 3, done.
You know it. Looks like Redis has sap, which is kind of annoying. That he got from Bio. The game's just taunting me at this point.
It is.
I'm now going to use Redis to pick things up because he is the active character. I'm just gonna have to pick something on the way back. It was weird. Not getting really good spawns here. Anyway, we have the black orb puzzle, which is annoying. But we need to use these black orbs to break the seals to take the elevator up. And we gotta go all the way up to the top of the lighthouse at Ridorana. Ash is gonna run out of MP. I literally can do nothing about this.
Partially because of the sap.
Yeah, I'll have to save Crystal. It's gonna be my only option, sadly.
That's what's draining it.
Yeah, at this point, it's the only way that's gonna fix it, because her MP is gonna be low, and I can't have her that low going to second, third ascent. I mean, I can play out of my butt and hopefully do really well, but it's just not worth trying to risk it at this point. Take 2 seconds to fix it.
Yep.
There we go. Everybody fixed up. GG. I have no desire to fight anything here. I'm already pretty over leveled in my opinion. And I'm gonna have Ash lead. I'm gonna try and fit the Domain Calvados and the Bacchus Wine on the boys. I do not know if I will have the ability to get it all done in time, but I will give it my absolute utmost.
Okay.
I'm trying to save every little splice of time I can.
I know. This is what happens when you get into the PB pace, is when you just start looking at little risk reward of what can I take the risk on that's not going to potentially ruin everything to get a little bit of extra time. That's what you guys are seeing happening.
Third one didn't get off. I'm also going to prep Redis for a rise on Panda, because there we go. Panda, our damage didn't line up properly, so it was able to get off perfect defense. It's not the first time you've seen it, probably won't be the last. But it's a damage barrier, basically, of all damage. What's weird is, for some reason, Redis has the ability to cast a rise, which is basically like full revive. But if you cast it on Panda, for some reason it causes it to aggro like insanely out of control and drop its shield pretty much immediately, as opposed to waiting for something that's like a minute. But it's really neat. I did a great job with Ascent last night. I hope I can do the same. I just had like a magic touch for it. So the next thing we have to do is we have to kill a bunch of enemies called Brain Pans, and they will basically create a bridges for us to continue climbing the ascent here. And what I'm going to try and do is kill them before they can kill us. Redis is going to make this a bit more difficult along the way, because that's what he do. But I am just going to minimize as much of this as I can. Don't backsass me, Redis.
Can I backsass you?
Sure. I'm not going to pay attention now. Game time. One step too close
Makes it
there.
even better for me.
Yeah, don't count your chickens before they hatch. You know me. I got a sharper wit than most.
I know, that's what makes it fun, but also it's also
wow.
fun when you're not paying attention.
Unfortunate one there. Fixed it though. Barely. 2 seconds left on the clock.
All the bases are loaded.
Yep. I am just straight zooming. The most important thing here is knowing where everything is and not continually getting petrified. Good Jesus. That's horrible. Just straight horrible. Unfortunate enemy spawns there too. I'm gonna have to lose time respawning that one. Because normally it should be there, but I drug an enemy too far. All right, riskiest play of the run here. Jamming it into the back corner. Worked out smoothly. And that was 1, 2. I need to kill 10 in this area. 3, 4, 5. Also, that one tried to physically attack me. Weird champ. 6. Reload him. 7. 8. Could be 9, and then 10 up here. And avoid this Didar if he's sneaking on the corner. Of course he is. So there are other enemies that look like brain pans, but they're Didars, and they remove one of your basically like little steps in your bridge. They're awful and nasty, but there is a reason for them. They actually have their own separate bridge mechanics that you have to use in plat percent to grab. I believe it's Holy that's hidden up here, or something like that. Either way, pretty clean, not too many complaints besides having to take time to depetrify. What's up?
I feel like it's not holy. But I'm thinking maybe it is holy.
Pretty sure it's Holy.
It's been a while.
Since I could hold my head up here. I'm not even gonna bother with Domain Calvados at this point. I'm just gonna Bacchus wine them. I just don't have time to deal with it. I cannot fix this menu.
Okay.
Well, they're not even gonna get Bacchus wine, but Vaughn will have Domain Calvados for Slit. Slit is one of our first bosses. The rule of thumb with this is to never trust Slit. Slit is aggressive. Oh boy, I berserked Ash. That was a terrible idea by accident. That's the second time I've done that, and it's awful. So what I'm gonna do to remedy this situation, I'm just going to kill Ash. That is a menuing mistake that I lived with and fixed.
Yep.
No Entite? No Entite, perfect. Yeah, Slit's a good boss, but Slit can just randomly combo, especially once it hits Enrage and it gets gnarly. Anyway, welcome to everyone's least favorite part of Pharos. This is the second ascent, where basically you have to give up either, I believe it's magic, items, or your map in order to traverse it. Well, here's the deal. I'm gonna give up my map because I know where I'm going. But guess what? The idiot devs didn't get rid of the on-screen map. To be fair though, this is a really rough area. Unless you're like super built, like this is just a nightmare. Like it is truly awful. I feel bad for people that are like slightly under-leveled that try and work their way through this area because it is no one's friend. And I'm gonna take a risk here and just start running. Yeah, map give up is the quickest choice because we need magic, we need items in case anything goes wrong. Weird no spawns here. Bosch 32, yeah, I'm over leveled at this point. I'm over leveled by like 1 level at least. Oof, that is a killer. I have to fix that. And I really can't move until I do because I need the ability to blast my way out of stuff if it goes downhill. Like this. Anyway, we're gonna hit this fake wall here. There's probably a boon on the other side. Yep, that's boon. But we out of here. Survived the worst of it, that's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, telekinesis or like Bone Crush. I think it's Bone Crusher. All right, boys are domain Calvadoed up. We are now headed to Fenrir. What's our time looking like right now?
2:27.
Yep, I have a 2:27.18, so chances are no PB. Officially over here. Ash getting silenced, not great. I have to fix that immediately too, why not? I've had to fix the run, the entire run. No fault of my own. Thank you, Redis. And we pray for no Entite again. Anyway, we're gonna, now that we've cleared it and brought it up, we will lift the crystal back into place, which will open up the elevator and seal the door behind us. Yeah, Hasmel should be pretty easy. I'm actually over-leveled, and I'm kind of hoping that being ahead on my gambits is gonna end up saving me time in the long run, or ahead of my licenses. Probably not, though. Anyway, we'll take the elevator up, go bug the third ascent here. And up we go. Taking the waystone up to the top floor and the third ascent. Bam. Yeah, we are way over leveled. Bosch having 3,000 HP is a foreign sight for me.
What happens when we spend half the run trying to fix things going wrong?
Yep. There's a bunch of traps on the floor that I'm just gonna avoid here. That's what I got for you. Just literally, I do not care. I'm just in full move mode. We have this cool little puzzle here. I'm going to luckily get out of this really quickly, save myself a little bit of time.
I'll see.
I walked right into the trap like an idiot. There we go. I forget. It's right side's the clear side, not left. Hey, no tower. Very nice. Okay, everyone's gonna get the same treatment here. I have no need for that elixir. Let's go. We're gonna take on Hashmal. Hashmal, okay. I have down for 231.01. I don't think we're gonna make it.
Tower is a 10% chance to spawn there. It is a terrible, terrible fight.
The good news is if you just flee and put yourself against the elevator, you push yourself out of range.
You patched one up for what?
231.31. Or 231.01.
01?
Yeah, I'm behind, I know. Nothing I could do. Had a lot of mistakes.
Only about a minute.
Awful. Makes me sad.
For a marathon, and your luck, yeah, it's less than a minute.
Still abysmal.
Probably about 40 seconds. Ish. 40 to 50. One more license menu. We're gonna grab some battle lures because we want as much damage as we can, and since we've got the license points, we might as well. Because there's a lot of things that we're gonna come up against that we're just gonna want to make sure we're doing as much damage as possible. Touching the save crystal, just make sure that we have all of our health mana up where we want them to be, and status effects cleared that need to be cleared.
We're gonna take Bosch out of the party here. We're gonna try and save some time on a dialogue and hopefully get a crit out of Bosch coming in, which would be really nice.
Yeah, I'm over leveled, so it should be okay. I don't know how I ended up so over leveled, but here we are.
We'll take it.
Hear me, Bosh. Do not think killing the Kingslayer will win
Forever
you back
stained.
your honor. When you abandoned home and kin, your name was forever stained with blood.
I forgot to queue up Phoenix Down on Ash. Nope.
Oh.
Nope. Don't get screwed. Thanks, game. And he blocked the first shot, too. What a jerk. Alright, there's Sid part 1 down. Toughest fight in the game is Pamphret. Redis is dead. Pamphret is just going to damage roll us. Are you kidding? I'm over leveled. I hate it here. There's nothing I can do. I just got really unlucky. We made it through Pamphret, but that does not fix any of my problems right now.
No.
Just bad damage rolls, a bunch of blocks.
And there's a certain amount of we're
Ash.
just kind of. Kira is higher.
Yeah, the cure is higher. It's all good. I'm just gonna get through this.
So we did take it out of the
There we
speed
go.
mode so that we can kind of recover this. We're using this pillar the best that we can to keep him blocked. It's little strats that we have available to us to
Yeah,
get back in
thankfully,
control.
Sid only does physical attacks, and in order to do that, you have to have actual line of sight on your target. And with the pillar in the way, he can't. So that was awful and embarrassing. Whatever. Just getting really unlucky with a lot of misses and blocks. That's part of the reason why we didn't get Pamphret down before Aquaja, was it blocked 2 attacks. Also, Redis died, which is kind of annoying. He's good for
That's one of those
distraction
moments where you
value.
really don't want him to die.
Alright, so now we can go take down the airship Bahamut. Fight Vane on his own airship turf. I'm not going to buy anything because I don't need it. And we're gonna go grab our airship again. Go down, left, down, left. And away we go.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a second with the setup and make sure everything's good to go. I'm gonna try and get pretty much every skip I can here. No guarantees. There is one stupid gambit I have to fix too. Vaughn's still on lowest HP. I never fixed that after Sid, I'm pretty sure.
I am not sure.
I don't remember doing it. There we go, problem solved. No spawns? Okay. Thanks, I guess? Weird, normally there's at least 3 there. Never really had it spawn empty like that.
Yeah, but we don't need them, so.
All right, time for Gabranth. Good.
Futile Bosh. Long have I walked in hatred's company. As long as I can curse your name, I shall not be defeated.
Then come.
Then come.
Wield your hatred
Wield
and
your
crush
hatred
me.
and crush me. I welcome it.
Hoping we can get innocent skip here. Which we did.
We don't totally know all of these lines.
Yeah. Save them. Yeah, I'm 1 level up. If I can get all the skips that I need, the PB is still on the table.
By just a little bit.
Your lives are forfeit.
Dalmasca will again know order.
Dalmasca will again know order. For good and all, I shall bring your futile
Gonna try and get
attempts at
Machwave kick
rebellion
skip
to
here.
an end. What am I to do with those who would oppose
Good luck.
me?
Never.
But
Never
show them
lucky.
death.
Never lucky. Anyway,
Always worth trying.
now Vayne Novus. Get ready on time. It's coming up very quickly.
Ivalice will know a new dynast king, and man will keep his own history. The tyranny of the gods is ended. We are their puppets no more. The freedom for which we have longed is at hand.
Get this heal off. No, I'm screwed. Got unlucky again.
We shall perish.
Unfortunately, Vaughn took massive amounts of damage, and I needed to let the heal go off first in case we didn't get the skip, because chances are you don't get the skip, so whatever. Anyway, undying time. There are 2 cutscene skips. Time's coming up in about 20 seconds. And with all the misses, come on, time. I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom.
41:26.
Garbage, throw it in the trash.
Can we fly?
No fuel goes to the Glossair engines.
Damn. Vaughn, you're in charge. I'm checking the engine room.
Right.
Fran, with me?
Look, Bahamut's Glossair rings are stopping.
Vaughn, as soon as the Strahls rings move, you take off. Understood? You can fly her, Vaughn. Just do it like I told you.
Don't worry.
Penelo, watch for interference from Bahamut's Skystone. The Strauss a fickle girl. You keep her working for us. I'll see what I can do.
Bosh, look after Lhasa, will you? If House Solidor
How
should
far was this run off
Empire
of
would
being
fail.
like in PB range?
and civil war would take us all.
Actually getting good luck for once.
The Lord Lhasa is our last hope.
The question is, what is your PV?
Oh, 239.37. Wasn't even close.
I mean, it's like 2 minutes off.
It's garbage. It's 2 minutes. 2 minutes is like an incredible amount of time in this game.
Actually, really, there was a lot that went wrong.
It's true.
There was a couple, like, honestly, there was... Normally would have
Getting
been a
wiped at
reset
Hal
at the
Micah
very
is what
beginning
killed us.
From Penelo and...
Yep. Over
I
leveled.
mean, in an RPG where it's like more than like an hour, like a couple hours long, like I mean, 2 minutes does seem like a lot.
It is.
But in an RPG, that could be way the hell more too.
Yeah, and with the way that this game, you can go so fast through everything, it's very quick that it
is over.
Like, I mean, if he wasn't using the speed up, that 2 minutes would probably be like a hell of a lot more time. So I can understand, I guess, that 2 minutes seems like a big difference.
Attention. This is Lhasa
It's also coming in with strong PB potential for the day, and seeing it just kind of dwindle on your
typical.
Out of bad luck.
Sir, orders, sir.
I mean, I know that feeling with some of the games that I've played. Nothing better than starting a couple hours of a run. You get the first hours. Yeah, not too bad. Oh, I have potential, and then you start going. You're like, fuck. So.
Well, GG. Thanks for having us. Sadly, it didn't work out the way I wanted to.
It was a pleasure. It was still a good run and a good showing in a marathon settings case, but
yeah,
it's a little sad that it wasn't a PB for you. But I mean, you'll get there. It's been a while since you've been playing this game, anyways. As you said, you've been focusing a lot on 15, which we got to see earlier.
Yep.
Look, Vaughn, the Bahamut.
So anyways, do you have any additional things you want to talk about before you head off? I mean, we got the time for you.
Thanks for having me. I'm gonna go fire up another one, see if I can get it.
So if you folks want to catch Kios and his speedrunning endeavors, you can go catch him on his Twitch channel. This is Kyoslilmonster, exactly how it appeared on screen. So you can find them there. They tweet a lot about what their schedule is as they're doing things. I mean, it's subject to change as always. It's clearly defined that way as always. So they decide they don't want to do anything. That's just the way it is.
Just stream every day.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. Like, they are streaming every single day.
I need a life.
So go hop in, go say hello, tell them that they're really bad at the game and they need to improve, and maybe they will.
Something like
Except that, if you do that, you might get yelled at in the same process.
I mean, just gonna yell at you anyways.